Unfortunately, the best short description I can give this game is... what? I have, at best, a vague idea about what actually happened. You play as a woman who I believe has been ill. There are some references to a doctor giving us advice. I'm not entirely sure about that, but you and your husband John, who I think is actually your doctor, have rented out some halls to live in for the summer, and you believe that the house may be haunted due to how cheap it was to pay for and how it has been empty for so long. There are no directions for what to do in the beginning, so you are just left to explore. The camera can be a little lurchy, and you appear as very tall in proportion to the furniture, but the lurchiness doesn't reach the level of seasickness that would warrant worrying about. The game gives you prompts at certain positions around the house as to the story and scenario and what you need to do. Otherwise, you're just left to wander around the house and try doors. There is a puzzle mechanism that involves hitting the right switch to open the door you want to go through. However, when you find a switch and hit it, you hear a door opening, though it is rare that that is the door next to the switch. Then you'll have to wander the house to find which door has opened. It got a little annoying, but it did mean I had to have a fair look around the house and take in the effort that the developers put into the house decorations. You're also given some vague hints during the messages about a woman in the house who may have died and how you think she's living behind your wallpaper. I believe that the woman was the previous owner of the house and all her belongings are still laying about. There's a lot of what I can only describe as feminist articles about women's rights, breaking the typical role of a woman, and how it shouldn't be wrong if a woman doesn't want to marry. It's said that this woman is Charlotte, though how her being a feminist and mover for equal rights has much to do with the woman behind the wallpaper story, I have no idea. There seems to be indications later on in the game that Charlotte is starting to lose the force with which she drives this no marriage strong woman motive, and that she might be starting to go a little mad by it. It also seems we start to mistrust people and become a little obsessed with that wallpaper. In the end, well, I can tell you if you want, but maybe you want to find out for yourself, who knows. The game has a fair attempt at a creepy atmosphere, with rainfall and thunder as background noise, squeaky doors and whispering, but really it's not that bad. The scariest part was when the ghosts of the NPCs would pop up out of nowhere so you could speak with them and vanish when you took a few steps away. When you communicate with the ghosts, the whispering noise is made, though it's simply for ambience and adds nothing to the conversation. You have several text options to say in conversation to learn more about the scenario, but it's nothing that splits into different endings or anything like that. It's just questions or statements that can be said over and over. It is a little strange that the NPCs appear as ghosts, because they seem to speak to our character as if she's the lady of the house, or at least as if they know her. Which also begs the question of whether they are our servants, or whether they used to live in the house, and if we brought them along for our little summer holiday. There are a couple of moments where noises are sort of used as jump scares, but I'm really jumpy and they didn't get me, so obviously they don't deserve that much credit. I will give the game credit though for time period relevance. Due to a reference to the suffragette movement, I believe the game to be set somewhere around the 1850s. The dress of the NPCs and the style of the paper clippings you find tie in with this, as does the furniture and candle lighting to a large degree. The biggest downfall of this game, I would say, is the NPCs. Frankly, they look like cardboard cutouts in comparison to everything else. They have no movements, and they do not blend in with the house at all. The outside environment is just a JPEG next to a window with another NPC cardboard cutout in it. This kind of breaks the atmosphere and integrity of the game a bit for me. All in all, I can't really give this game a good score because I don't have a clue what I even played. There were hints at stuff, the story was sort of there, vaguely, and what I did play was entertaining in the sense that I was mostly trying to find out what the hell was going on. The ending was weird, to say the least. I sort of stumbled through the gameplay. The NPCs were distant, and whilst they did have some personality, there was no way to connect with them. The rooms were detailed, and I spent most of the game reading all the articles and paper snippets, which were well designed and interesting with good spelling. But the game wasn't really meant to be a reading simulator, so all that wading through text was just a bonus. But really, the bonus had more content than the game itself did, and it made a hell of a lot more sense. The framework of the game and the concept are solid. The assets for the house were decent, but the rest needed improvement. The atmosphere was quite good, but could do a little bit of improvement there, I suppose, in sort of making it fit a little bit better. But the game just needs putting together better overall, from my view. Unless I missed something massively, I have no idea. You can try the game for yourselves and see what you think. It's a free to play, so go ahead if you want. It was simple to control after you realise you just interact by clicking on things, but all in all, I could only rate it about 2.5 out of 10 for just what the actual hell even was that.